welcome to a new video. I am back on the bank. The kit is already in the swim, as you can see. Now, I have come out today for a very short morning session. I've just dropped the lad off at school, got stuck in loads of traffic. That was not fun. So I'm actually even later to the late than planned. So my session is even shorter than it originally was. So it's a short session now. But I'm all about making the most of our time and making the most of opportunities. And I had a little window this morning to get out and chuck the rods out. So I thought I'm going to get it done and try and see if I can catch one. Absolutely love fishing time, love getting out on the bank. And even if I've only got 2 or 3 hours, I always try and make the most of it, because to me, that is really important. And I know some people feel like they need a lot longer to get out and enjoy it. But to me, any time on the bank is time well spent. So I've come out to try and see if I can make it happen. Now, it's the worst time of the day, you know, sort of that mid-morning period up to midday. The sun's absolutely blaring today. It was frosty overnight. I had to thaw out the van this morning. So it's cold, it's sunny, it's bright, it's not great conditions. But I'm not going to let that put me off. I'm going to still try my hardest and see if I can put a fish on the bank. Now, I've come up to a beautiful little reservoir. It's such a lovely place, hidden away in some hills. It's quite local to me, but at this time of year, it pretty much gets neglected. It just doesn't get any attention. Now, there is a couple of reasons for that. One, it's a bit of a walk from the car park. You've got to go across 2 fields. The fields are really boggy, they're really muddy, and they're quite hard to walk across. So you've got to travel really, really light. Otherwise, you just sink in some of it. Normally, they are working fields. They've got cattle for them in the year. The mud is just, as soon as it gets rain, it just turns to mush. So it is a bit of a nightmare. And so because of that, it does get quite ignored. And also, there's no monsters in here. The fish go up to, say, mid-20s, which nowadays people don't see as a big fish. You know, I'm more than happy to catch that. But yeah, it does get a little bit sort of neglected and ignored. So that's great for me, because I get some nice peaceful fishing where I can do some filming, have a few hours on the bank, get my fishing fix, and not be bothered by anyone. So anyway, I need to get some rods out and stop talking. So let's get the rods out, let's get them in the pond, let's see if we can catch a carp. Right, first rod going out then, usual setup. I've got my Ronnie rig bottom bait. I've actually got an 18 miller on there. There's a lot of silvers and bream in this lake, so I thought I'd go big or go home. Got a little mesh bag of the Maxi Cray Mix, and then my normal hybrid lead clip. I've got a 3-ounce lead on there, and yeah, I'm going to send that out. Rod number 1 ready for action. Rod number 2 going out then, literally exactly the same. So we don't need to talk through that one, but we're going to send this one out. This one's going to go out slightly to the left, over towards the reeds a little bit more. Right, that is the second rod out. Well, the rods are out then, and we are fishing. I've decided to put the right rod out towards the middle zone where I've seen a fish roll, and then the left rod I've actually put a bit further over. There's some reeds over on the far side, although they're dying off now because it is that time of year. But it's a nice little area and it's a good feature. There's also a bit of a old sort of stream bed that runs through here, because this is essentially dammed from an old stream that runs through. And there is sort of the remnants of a stream there. It's a little bit of a depression on the lake bed where it used to run through, and it does seem to be a nice area. Have caught a lot of fish off it in the past. Now, I've had a bit of a disaster already, and my catapult was broken. So I now can't put any freebies out, which is an absolute rookie error, if I'm honest. yeah, a bit devastating to be honest, because the fish normally respond really well to a little bit of food in here because it is relatively underfished, and when you do put some decent grub in, the fish do get on it. But yeah, it's a bit of an error, so I'm going to have to essentially just fish single. So I've got some mesh bags with me, and I have got some DNA amino smokes. What I'm going to do is I'm going to just recast them quite regularly, move them around and see if I can fall in front of a fish and fish that sort of roving tactic instead of maybe sort of letting the bait work for me instead. So hopefully it'll still work. I'm sure I can still pick one up. It isn't ideal conditions, which is going to make things tricky. So, you know, it's not the best, but I'm out on the bank, I'm doing it, and it's better than not being out fishing. So I am gonna now get the kettle out and have a brew, because at the end of the day, why not? So it's definitely coffee time. So yeah, let's get the kettle on, let's have a brew and chill out for a bit, and hopefully when the rods goes rattling off. Well, coffee is in hand, so things are looking on the up. It is definitely a shame that I can't put any freebies in. Yeah, having a broken catapult and not having a spare is an absolute disaster. And I feel quite annoyed about it, to be honest, but it is what it is. I can't change it. I've only got a short session, so I just make the most of what I can now. So I've been fishing for about an hour, nothing's happened. I've recast the rods a couple of times, but I'm going to just keep recasting them, moving them around, searching the swim out, try and find some fish. You know, to be honest, when I look at it, the conditions, although it's very pleasant, they're actually terrible fishing conditions. You know, bright sunny weather, high pressure. You know, we've had a bit of rain recently. We're actually due some really nice weather soon. We've got a big old storm coming in. I think it's called Bert, like Storm Bert or something like that. But yeah, that'll probably turn things around and might even switch them on. But I think we're due like a lot of weather, probably a lot of rain, I think. And to be fair, some of the waters at the moment are already quite full because we've had quite a lot of rain. And I wouldn't be surprised if some of them burst their banks and we get a load of flooding. But it seems to be the same every year. It just gets worse and worse every year, doesn't it, really? So I'll be looking forward to that. But yeah, it is what it is. We're at the end of the day, we're on the bank, we're fishing, it's nice weather, I'm chilling. That's what it's all about, isn't it? Just enjoying being out on the bank and possibly catching one. So I do feel it's going to be hard work today. I've only got a few hours left, so let's hope it happens. But I'm going to finish my coffee off, and then I'm going to recast the rods, search the swim out, and hope we can have one. Right, well, I have done a bit of a tactic change. I've decided to switch one of the rods over to a pop-up. Now, I don't use pop-ups a great deal anymore. I used to absolutely love them, but I've definitely fallen out of favour with them because so many people use them. I think the fish do find them a bit of, I think they're a bit cautious around them, especially when fishing them over the bait. At the end of the day, if you're fishing a better bait and you've got a pop-up sat over the top of it, it just looks really alien and doesn't look natural, and the fish don't feed on it naturally. So personally, I've been using loads of bottom baits the last couple of years, but when I'm fishing a single hook bait, which I pretty much am today because I can't get any freebies out, I do think a pop-up actually is more efficient. So with that in mind, I've switched the right hand rod over to a yellow one on a pop-up on the Ronnie. I've nicked a little mesh bag of the Cray Mix on it as well, just for a bit of extra boost. But yeah, I've sent that back out there, and hopefully with that extra attraction of the pop-up, because they are really boosted, they've got a lot of scent to them, they are quite high attract. So I'm hoping there's more chance of maybe getting a bite on that, because it's giving off some more food signals. So it's definitely a tricky day today. The weather is really not in my favour, and obviously I haven't got a lot of time, so I've probably only got about an hour to go. So already we're struggling at the moment, but it is a lovely day, and that's definitely something to take from today, that if I do blank, at least I'm on the bank, I've got some fresh air, I've been able to relax and chill, which is really important. And you know, that's always something I like to take from the fishing. Although I'm always rushing around filming, trying to create content, I do try and enjoy a bit of time when I'm out on the bank and relax, and actually take a minute to just chill and look around and take in the atmosphere, because that is essentially what we're doing it for. And sometimes we do forget that side of things, but I won't go too much into that. I've probably said that recently in a video, because it is something we like to sort of focus on and make people aware of, because people forget, and they get so caught up in big fish hunting, they kind of forget the real reason you first went fishing. But anyway, hopefully that tactic change does the business, and we will have a fish shortly. But I'm going to put the kettle on and have another coffee. Right, I've just seen a fish show, so I'm going to quickly just reel in this left hand rod and see if I can flick it further down towards where I saw the fish show. It's basically shown kind of towards the end of the reed line on the opposite side, but about, I don't know, a few rod lengths off the bank. But all I'm going to do is cast just a single hook bait. I haven't got long, so I'm going to just flick a single hook bait out towards the kind of general direction. Yeah, that's not far enough. I think this is the best chance I've got at the moment. I've not seen a huge amount going on, if I'm honest, but that fish has just showed, and it's something to act on, which is all I can do. Obviously, when you're single hook bait fishing, you know, casting at showing fish is one of the things you can do. So that's better. Oh god, it's boggy, so boggy. Look at this bank, it's an absolute nightmare. You might be able to see my slip and slide there. Yes, I've got an absolute flyer. I also slipped down this bit here. So it is not an easy lake to fish at this time of year, which is why it doesn't get a huge amount of attention. And also down by the water, you've got this to contend with, where your rods are. You could fish on the platform, but for me the platform is much better to actually play the fish on, so that when you've got a bite you can stay on something solid and play and net the fish on the platform. So yeah, the rods are in the muck, so it's winter fishing at the end of the day. You know, this is kind of what it's like, but it is so deadly at times. Has anyone else fished a swim like this, where it's an absolute bog? It's almost risking your life just going up and down the bank. Let me know in the comments below. But at the moment, nothing's happening on the rod situation. We've not had a bite, and I have not got very long to go. So what can you do? Well, that is the end of the session. I have just packed everything down. Unfortunately, it is going to be a blank, but it's been really nice getting out on the bank, getting some fresh air and just enjoying being in the outdoors. To be fair, I've had the man flu lately and it's been nice to actually get out of the house and get some fresh air, because I've been in the house for the best part of a week, feeling rough. And Parker's been ill as well, my lad, and he's actually been really not sleeping well and hallucinating and all this stuff going on. So it's actually been nice to get out, have a bit of time to myself and get some fresh air. So yeah, even though we've not caught, it's still been really good and nice to get out and have a bit of time to myself, and that sometimes is what it's about. So although it's always nice to catch fish, it is sometimes just about being out there, getting some freedom for yourself, getting some fresh air and just being in nature, because it really does make a massive impact on our mental health and the way that we feel, and it always makes me feel so much better, and I absolutely love it. So on that note, hopefully you did too and you enjoyed the video. If you did, give it a thumbs up, smash the subscribe button if you're new. We upload at least one video a week, normally on a Tuesday or always on a Tuesday at 6:30 on the evening, but I do also put out a bonus video on a Friday at the same time, 6:30, and that is normally for different content. So Tuesday is normally the carp fishing upload, which is what we've always done, and then Friday is normally mixing it up with some different species, trying to bring you some different content to obviously give yourself something else to watch. So if you do like it, make sure you subscribe, make sure you follow us and all that jazz. And anyway, I need to get moving, to be fair. I need to go home, have some lunch, and then I need to get sorted out to go and pick Parker up from school. So on that note, get on the bank, enjoy your fishing. Remember, it is fishing, just enjoy it. Enjoy getting out, do it on your own terms. And until next time, I'll be seeing you.